welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is the monthly reading for December 2025 for the Earth sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, how are you? I hope that you are doing well. Cannot believe that I'm recording the last monthly of the year. If you haven't already watched it, I have put out the 2026 yearly overviews for all of the signs, so you can take a look at that and see the energies that you have coming in throughout the new year. Also, if you're looking for more regular, shorter content, you can follow me over on TikTok. I'm at Changing Phases Tarot on TikTok. There I do post weekly, sort of shorter, daily content, so follow me there as well. If you do enjoy the reading today, because obviously, as I always like to point out, these readings are general in nature, so the messages may or may not resonate. But if you do enjoy it, please do consider giving the video a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel. I would so appreciate that, and that way you will also be notified whenever I do post new content. Okay, so we're going to be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread today. I'm using the Star Spinner Tarot deck, so let's just get started. So we have center of the spread, powerful Major Arcana number 4, the Emperor, is crossed by, this is the Queen of Swords. So communication coming in very strongly this month. Could be you taking on the energy of this Queen of Swords. Could be another, or not another, but an air sign, an older air sign individual that's playing a significant role in your life this month. Could also be a mother figure, your own mother, mother of your children. But if it is just you taking on this energy, this is very strong energy of communication. And with it crossing the Emperor is associated with the fire sign of Aries. So we have very fiery energy. He's like the King of Kings. So he's very good at, starting new projects, endeavors. He's sort of this boss figure. So it could be dealing with you're a boss or a supervisor. He is number 4 of the Major Arcana. 4s in the tarot represent stability. They're very grounded, right? Foundational type energies. So there could be, communication or just, this direct sort of getting your point across. It could be to your boss. This could be actually, communicating, getting your point across to somebody in this, authority figure, this authority position. But we'll see as we move through the spread what else we can add to that. We have in the deep past, Major Arcana number 1, the Magician. And, the Magician has all of the tools at his disposal to manifest whatever it is that he is wanting to manifest. You can see it on the card. He has the sword, he has the pentacles and the cups, right? And the wands. He has everything that he needs. So it, in the recent past, this could have been you sort of coming to this realization almost that, you actually have everything that you need to manifest. If this is in the case of, it could be any area of your life, but manifesting a new job, you have sort of all of the tools necessary. You don't need to do any other type of training. There might be positions coming up that you just have exactly what they are looking for. For other people, this Magician, it's as above, so below this. So it could be something that you have been working or, hoping for quite a while. Now you are bringing it down into reality. The Magician is also associated with air energy. So with the air sign of Gemini, also Virgo, but, air energy coming in quite strongly, plus the fire of the Emperor. In the recent past, you have the 7 of Wands. So sometimes this 7 of Wands shows up when you are needing to defend yourself, defend your point of view. This could be defending, if you think a certain way, like defending that point of view against, or if you're in a sort of a work situation, maybe you've come up with a new project and you're presenting on it, but you might get challenged. So it's sort of you defending, having to defend yourself. It's the Suit of Wands. So we usually associate it with the work that you do. It can be creative projects and endeavors. So, some type of either needing to defend yourself, or you might be sticking up for yourself in the workplace, or putting yourself forward even in the workplace. So if there is a position coming up, this is you sort of putting your foot forward, getting that, what am I trying to say? Like, sort of the foot, not the foot in the door, but like getting ahead with something, right? So you're putting yourself forward there. We have crowning your reading. Beautiful. This is the Two of Chalices. So the Two of Cups, this is soulmate energy. So for some of you, and it's, in your crowning position, message from your higher self, there could be a focus on a relationship. So there could be a relationship that is playing very prominently this month. For others, if it's not a romantic relationship, this can be a soulmate connection with another individual. And, throughout our lifetimes, we can have many soulmates. They don't necessarily have to be romantic in nature. We can have work colleagues, friends, right? They can also appear as soulmates, but it's just that deep soul connection with another person. Oftentimes, they are quite different than we are, right? So this might be a very different sort of type of person here. With this soulmate connection, if it is within the workplace, it's, a great partnership energy. If this is a relationship, this is very, it's a very deep soul connection. So it's a beautiful love energy. So for some of you, there could be a connection coming in at this time. We have in the near future, this is another major arcana. This is number 2, the High Priestess. And, as the High Priestess, she obviously is very spiritual in nature. She sits between the physical realm and the material realm. And, she also, she encourages us to tap into our own intuition. So when the High Priestess appears in a reading, you're being guided to pay attention to those signs, synchronicities, repeating numbers, right, throughout the day. Maybe you're driving and you see a license plate with 444 or 555. Pay attention to those messages, right? Then pay attention to the signs, and pay attention to what you might be thinking at that time, what might be going on around you at that time. Those are just, they're little ways that the universe kind of sends messages your way. Also at nighttime, she's also associated, we see the moon and the sun here. So there could be, there could be messages coming in the daytime, but there could also be messages coming in at nighttime in your dreams. So it might be a good month for you to keep a dream journal. And as soon as you wake up in the morning, sort of jot them down so that you don't forget the messages. They might not make much sense at the time, but as you move through the month, they might bring important information to you, or they might, all of a sudden make sense. So also, as I mentioned, there's the moon on the card. The High Priestess is associated with the water sign of Cancer. You appear as the Three of Swords. So this is a card of, it can represent a third-party situation, but in more general terms, so sort of within a love connection, this can represent another person in the relationship, or, that somebody is cheating, or, there's some type of deception going on, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It can just be, any type of disappointment that we might be experiencing. This could be kind of leftover disappointment that you're kind of carrying with you. If this is going back to this Two of Cups, if you have experienced pain, disappointment in the past, in your past relationship, or in just many previous relationships, this might have been a kind of recurring theme or recurring pattern. It's about needing to, turn this upside down and allow those swords to fall out of the heart there. So, to heal from these past disappointments. Yeah. And so you have the minor arcana and the major arcana version of the Lover's card, right? So this is of the soulmate card. So you do have, for some of you, there could be there's very strong love connection coming in, deep soulmate connection. But and I think that's why I was getting with this Three of Swords, because I don't usually read the Three of Swords in that way necessarily. But it was coming through that there's a need to kind of release these swords, turn it upside down, release it in order to give way to this new. And you can see right at the center of both cards, there are hearts, right? So there's a need for you to release this pain from the past, and not to bring it into, this beautiful potential for a relationship. It needs to stay where it is in the past. You have in your hopes and fears the Queen of Chalices. So this is the Queen of Cups. Could be dealing with a water sign individual, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Typically, she's an older, more mature water sign. Could be a mother figure, your own mother, mother of your children. But she is also, out of all of the queen, she is probably the most intuitive. So intuition definitely coming through strongly as well this month. But you could be hoping for some of you, obviously this isn't going to resonate with everybody, but for some you might be hoping for or to take on this role of a mother. So if there is a relationship coming in, you could be hoping for this to develop so that you ultimately get married, become a mother. For others, it's about, if you're taking on this energy, it could be you needing to, be more open, be more receptive, because she is, as the Queen of Cups, she's very focused on the family. Obviously the Suit of Cups deals with relationships and feelings. So she's very emotionally stable. She's very open and loving. So, could be the way that you are, or what you're hoping for this new relationship, this potential relationship here that you're hoping for, this, very mature, could be even, this mature relationship or mature connection with this other person. And you have Justice in the outbound position. This is Major Arcana number 11. So yeah, there's karmic justice at, sort of center stage here. And the Justice card is all about, things going, or karmic justice being served, the scales of justice being balanced out, right? She's holding the sword of truth. So there's, and we had that going back to this Queen of Swords in the center position. So there's something to do with, truth coming through, your own truth, living your true version, the true version of yourself. And the scales. So if things haven't gone your way in the past, if you felt like, oh, that was really treated unfairly, possibly within this relationship, if you were or did experience this third party situation, it's like there's a balancing out of the scales. For some, and obviously this isn't going to resonate with everybody, but there could be the other person is kind of having whatever happened to you in the past is happening to them. That could be the case for some of you. And bottom of the deck, let's have a look. We have the Three of Wands. So yeah, there could be this connection with the two, the lovers and the Two of Chalices. There could be this love connection with someone who is quite different than you are, somebody from a different country, different culture, somebody who's at quite a distance, because the Three of Wands, threes in the tarot, first of all, do represent, we have another three beneath it, there's a Three of Coins. Threes represent growth potential and expansion, right? So it's very like expansive energy, and the three comes after the Two of Wands, which is the crossroads. You're making that decision, choosing to go down one path versus the other, so going in one direction over another. And then the three, it's like you've made that decision, and now you're sort of waiting for your ships to come in. So you're waiting to see what's going to happen. In the traditional tarot, there's the person up on the cliff top kind of looking out to sea, waiting for the ships to come in. So there could be some type of travel to somewhere that's by water. Again, this overseas component to it. So that could be connecting with somebody who's at a distance. This could even be like meeting somebody online, so through online dating. We also have a ship that appears here on this Queen of Cups. So yeah, for some of you, there could be an overseas connection. You might be traveling overseas. You might meet this person if you go on a cruise. You might meet them, if you end up moving overseas. But there's some type of overseas component here, I would say, with this Three of Wands showing up. So, and with it, with having the Three of Coins beneath it, the Three of Coins, it also has to do with growth potential, but possibly working with other people, entering into a new team. So there's kind of new energy, growth potential surrounding you this month. And interesting, because usually for Capricorn, the readings are not usually like more weighted towards relationships. It's usually very, you know, focused on career, and, you know, and it could be like going, like I was saying, going back to this Emperor in the center position. You know, there could be a focus on your workplace and, you know, dealing with sort of your supervisor, and you going up for, there could be a new role that you're going out for, and, you know, you might be successful with that. But for, you know, for another group of you watching, there could definitely be a love connection coming in this month. So last month of the year, love is not dead, right? There's still an opportunity, there's still time. So I'm going to leave the reading there. So I do hope that the messages have helped. Again, if you enjoyed the reading, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of December. Bye for now.